Newly released records are giving us far more specific details about a San Diego police officer's alleged sexual assault of a woman in 2013. The records are from an internal police investigation, and they raise questions as to why the officer was never charged. KPBS investigative reporter Claire Tragesser has been reading through the documents and joins us now. Claire, can you start off by giving us more background about this alleged assault?
In 2013, Officer Donald Moncrief was called to the Otay Mesa port of entry to pick up a woman who was trying to drive a stolen car into Mexico, and he was supposed to transport her to prison in his police car. The woman, who was not named in the documents, then later alleged that Moncrief sexually assaulted her. She said that he asked her to masturbate while he masturbated, and that he asked her for sex, and that he touched her breasts before dropping her off at prison.
And we now have even more details about what allegedly happened. What do they tell us?
Well, the documents really show that there was a lot of evidence that supports what the woman says. The investigators who wrote the report called Moncrief's behavior, quote, highly suspect. Here's a quote from that report.
Officer Moncrief's account of what occurred is highly suspect, and even if it were to be believed, demonstrates a complete lack of common sense and judgment.
And investigators had a harsh reaction to the officer's account of what happened, calling it highly suspect. Why so?
Well, for several reasons. The woman was a known Mexican gang member, and bullets were found in her car, but Moncrief never searched her and took her handcuffs off at some point during the 25-mile drive to Las Colinas detention facility in Santee. Here's another quote he told investigators.
To be honest with you, I don't search females. I don't.
Moncrief also said he drove a direct route and did not stop on the way to prison, but tracking of his squad car showed he stopped multiple times during the trip. Moncrief claimed that in the days and weeks that followed, he did not call the woman at all, but telephone records show that he called and texted the woman 26 times.
So those are alarming contradictions, but you combed through these documents. What stood out to you?
Well, the biggest thing that stood out was how appalled the investigators seemed to be with Moncrief's claims. Here's one thing that they said.
Officer Moncrief's inept, lackadaisical attitude towards officer safety is deplorable.
They also seemed to be completely incredulous of his story.
Officer Moncrief had no reasonable explanation for why he would have driven a masturbating female prisoner to a remote location to re-handcuff her.
Where is he now? He was allowed to resign. Where did he end up?
Right. So basically nothing happened to him. He resigned during the investigation before the administrative review took place, so he didn't have to go through that review. And police sex crime investigators forwarded the case to the district attorney, but he was never charged. And so I asked Dan Gillian, a lawyer who later represented the woman in a civil lawsuit against the city, about this, and here's what he said.
The DA is not going to file against a police officer unless she has to. And the only way she's ever going to be forced to do it is if the media pay attention to it.
So, Claire, since he was allowed to resign without fully being reviewed, we've seen in the past that sometimes officers will simply just apply for another position at a different district. Is there anything in place to prevent that from happening in this case? What's next?
It means that future employers may never know that anything bad even happened. I talked to a San Diego police spokesman, and he told me if someone resigns to avoid an administrative review and then applies to work at another law enforcement agency, that future employer may not know anything had happened. The only way they might find out would be if during a background check, the supervisor or peer told the employer there was supposed to be a review.
So the way that you were able to obtain this information was thanks to a recent law change here in California. Otherwise, this internal investigation may not have been privy to the public or you as a journalist. So tell us more about that law change.
Right. Previously, these things would happen and the public would never really know about it. But now this new state law, which went into effect in January, says that police have to release internal investigations when they shoot someone in the line of duty or cause great bodily injury, and when an officer is found to have committed a sexual assault or lied during the course of an investigation.
So it sounds like we can look forward to even more reports like this from you.
That's right.
KPBS investigative reporter Claire Tragesser, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, here we go. Another sex offender who is a police officer, and he's allowed to resign. And you heard from the people talking about it, the ladies discussing it above, he is free to go get another job. When is enough enough? Why are these predators allowed to walk among us? Whether it's from hurting someone, killing someone, stealing from someone, sexually assaulting and raping someone, and it is rape. Even if that girl allowed him to have sex with her, she is a prisoner. There's no way she can legally agree to have sex. I forgot what I was trying to say, sorry. Between the person who, her captor, I guess we could say, and that's a good definition of it, and her, no consent can be given for that situation. It's illegal, period. So I don't know. I'm going to in the future here, I'm going to do some more research on this and find out about the police sex crimes, and find out what their number is, and find out about what district attorney refused to prosecute this. And I'll do a follow-up video and post some numbers that we can call and let them know just how displeased we are about this. And hope everyone has a good day. I'm sorry to end your Friday on this, but it's something that needs to be shown. Everyone have a good weekend. Bye.